Hello and welcome! Last session, we showed you how to balance nutrition and exercise and asked you to be disciplined when watching TV. This session, we will show you how you take control of your environment. This will help you work towards the two goals of this program, which are to lose 5% of your starting weight and exercise for at least 150 minutes per week. This session, we are working towards the first goal. We will return to the second goal in a few sessions. Did you exercise for a minimum of 60 minutes over the past week? Did you eat mindfully and away from distractions like the TV? If you had trouble, don't let it get you down, as long as you are following the program more often than not. Let's start with a few basic questions. What makes you want to consume calories? Is it hunger? How you're feeling? What other people say and do? The sight and smell of food? Activities that make you think about food, like watching TV or reading magazines. There are many influences in your surroundings that subconsciously make you want to eat and drink, which can lead you to consume more calories than you intend. Many of us have developed a habit of consuming certain foods and drinks when we are in certain situations. For example, you have watched films at home since childhood and eaten ice cream while watching them. So now, whenever you watch a film, you find yourself wanting to eat ice cream, even if you're not hungry. In this scenario, you have developed a habit of eating ice cream that is cued by watching films. Food cues and calorie consumption habits are not necessarily harmful, but they are problematic when they get in the way of your efforts to consume fewer calories, as is your goal in this program. Since you have developed a habit, it may be hard for you to watch a movie without eating ice cream, which requires you to break the link between the cue and the food. Some common cues at home include snacks and sweets near the TV, computer, or telephone, linking those activities with calorie consumption. Another example is the habit of finishing all the food on your plate when eating with friends and family, making you reluctant to leave food and forcing you to overeat. Some common cues at or near work include the bakery across the street, high-fat, high-calorie foods in public places, such as donuts, cupcakes, cheesecakes, cream puffs, curry puffs, and candy at your desk and in vending machines. All of these are strong cues that make you think of eating and drinking, even though you aren't hungry. Pause the video and take a few minutes and identify some of your problematic food cues at home and outside. Now that you have identified a few cues and habits, let's think about how you can change them, starting today. There are 3 simple approaches. Number 1, ABC, which stands for antecedent, behavior, consequence. For example, having ice cream in the fridge, the antecedent, is a consumption cue that leads you to eating the ice cream, the behavior, which leads you to slipping in this weight loss program, the consequence. To counter this, you should remove the antecedent. If you do not buy ice cream, you can avoid eating it. Number 2, distraction and alternatives. In order to avoid certain behavior, such as snacking while watching TV, distract yourself by doing something else or consuming something healthy. Another way to do this is to transform a passive habit into an active one, for example, by exercising instead of snacking while watching TV. Number 3, shaping. Gradually change your behavior one step at a time, with a goal of zero consumption by the end. You may have already started this by reducing how many sugary drinks you consume per day. Let's use one of these approaches to identify and change your behavior while we take a tour of your home. Imagine that we have just opened the front door. What room are we in? Do you see any food in the room? Do you see anything that makes you think about eating and drinking, like a TV or a comfortable chair? Pause this video and go from room to room in person to identify the places and items that give you food cues. In the living room, you may have sweets or snacks near the TV, computer, or telephone. Last session, we asked you to break the connection between the cue of watching TV and food by making it a point never to eat while watching TV or while on the computer or phone. Let's use the ABC approach to remove the antecedent. You can do so by not buying sweets or snacks, or by limiting how many you buy. Only 1 cup of ice cream a week. The kitchen may be the most problematic room since food is cooked there, and there may be leftovers. There may also be ice cream in the freezer. And the kitchen cupboards and countertops may have cookies or chips. Again, the simple solution is to stop buying these foods or store them out of sight in a brown bag or other unattractive, opaque container. You can also make them hard to reach. If that is difficult, try the distraction approach or other alternatives and do something to distract yourself from the desire to eat. Remind yourself that the craving will only last for a short while, maybe 20 minutes at most. Distract yourself by doing something fun, such as reading a magazine, chatting with your supporter, taking a walk, or anything else that will distract you until the temptation passes. When cooking, set some rules. Don't eat while cooking. Taste foods once, and then rinse your mouth with water. Rinse utensils immediately after each use. Apportion food and put leftovers away before meals, or ask someone else to put the leftovers away. Use small tableware instead of large tableware. When putting food on your plate, spread it attractively so it looks like it's covering the plate. Remove your plate from the table as soon as you are finished. Remember, you don't need to eat the food off your plate, or your children's, or spouse's plates. How about work? Do you see any cues on the way to work and in your workspace? Do you see anything that makes you think about eating and drinking? There may be many cues, such as the bakery across the street, or high-calorie foods such as candy in public areas, near your desk, pantry, a colleague's desk, or in vending machines. To get away from the cue, create a different way to work. At work, stay away from areas where sweets may be available. Do you have high-calorie foods on your desk, in your desk drawer, or in your locker? Don't bring them to work. To remind yourself that you need to watch your calorie consumption and that you must exercise, keep walking shoes near your desk or in your locker. You can walk during lunch or on your way home. In order to change your response to cues, add some positive cues to your life too. There are 5 cues to add in your living room. Keep exercise shoes and equipment in sight. Hang an exercise calendar and graph of your exercise in a visible place. Buy a home exercise DVD and leave it on a table or on the TV. Put a note on the TV reminding you that a half hour of TV time could be used for a good walk. Post motivational photos, outdoor scenes, or reminders to exercise on the refrigerator. There are also 3 positive exercise cues that you can add to your workplace. Put your walking shoes in a visible place. Put a note on your door or wall to remind you to take a walk during your lunch break before eating lunch. Make a daily appointment with yourself to exercise. Write it in your diary. Keep these appointments with yourself. They are as important as your other appointments. In the evening, when you come home, don't automatically sit down in front of the TV. Instead, choose to take a walk or exercise in front of the TV. Remember, it takes time to break old habits and build new, healthier ones, but it can be done. Get rid of problem cues and add new ones that will help you lead a healthier life. You can make food and exercise cues work for you, not against you. Keep the following tips in mind to combat the cues, whatever your environment. Keep high-calorie foods out of your house and workplace. Out of sight is out of mind. Keep low-calorie foods such as fresh fruits and vegetables in sight, at hand, and ready to eat. Use the shaping technique to switch from unhealthy snacks to healthy ones. Limit your eating to one place. At home, only eat at the dining table, not in front of the TV. At work, select a table away from your desk and eat there. Do not eat at your desk or computer. This will help you separate eating and thinking about eating from work you do at your desk. When you eat, don't do other activities. Don't watch TV or talk on the phone. Focus on the meal and be mindful of what you're eating. Make eating a specific activity. In time, you'll be able to draw a line between eating and the other activities, disabling food cues. This brings us to the end of this session. For the next session, be aware of what you're eating and drinking. Keep track of it. Use my healthy plate as a model. Exercise for at least 90 minutes over the next week and keep track of it. Take account of your surroundings and see what cues there are that you can remove or reshape. Next session, we are going to look at how to solve problems that may come up during your day. Good luck with your tasks. Remember that they are within your control, so reassure yourself that you can complete them and be successful in this program.